If I told you 80% of the things you're doing, probably losing your money and wasting all of your time, you'd probably call me a liar and you think I'm chatting shit. But the truth is, if you stopped 80% of the things you were doing and just focused on the 20% that were actually getting you the results, I don't think you'd probably see more of these results. And relating this back to OnlyFans Management or OnlyFans, I'm going to go through the top 20% things that you should be focusing on versus the 80% that's wasting your time and not making you any more money. So before you can change all your routine and everything, you can start doing the things that are going to bring you the results. First, you need to identify what is the 20% of tasks that I should be doing that's going to get me the biggest benefit. And this can start by just asking yourself a couple of questions. You can look at a task, you can be like, will this task actually increase my profit? And if the answer is no, you need to find out what is the reason you're doing this task. Is it to deliver a better service? Is it to keep your client happy? Is there any reason at all to be doing this task, or are you just doing it because you feel like you need to and you've seen that other people do it, so you think you should do it too and you need to do it to be successful? But if you look at things and you actually analyze it yourself, you can't really see where your profit will increase or where your service delivery will improve. That's the first sort of question. Another one, is there another task I could be doing right now that's going to give me a bigger benefit? Am I just procrastinating? Am I just scrolling through my Instagram DMs, checking my old conversations instead of just sending out new DMs and getting new clients? If you're sat there analysing, this is just an example, but if you're sat there analysing your outreach messages and instead of sending them and potentially getting replies and potentially getting a new client, you're just analysing your old ones thinking, oh, what went wrong, but you've not even sent 100 or 1,000 of these DMs. You have no idea if it's going to work or not, and you just need to put more effort, more time into the task of actually sending the outreach DMs. So that's another thing. Make sure the task you are doing, there's not another one that could be bringing you a better benefit right now in this moment. Thirdly, is this benefit that I'm getting now? Say I'm putting 2 hours into a task, say I'm running Reddit for a client, I'm posting all the pictures, I'm doing everything for them, we're getting great subscribers, so there's definitely a profit benefit there, definitely a service delivery benefit there. But is this task scalable? Can I handle this for 5, 10 different OF clients? Can I do this through my whole day? Or is it going to take 12, 16 hours and I'm not going to get anything else done? And then the rest of the business is going to suffer and it's not going to scale. So in that case, you'd be like, okay, I could probably train someone and outsource this. So why am I still doing this task when it's pretty easy? I already know how to do it really well. It's already getting great results. And I could just outsource to someone in the Philippines for $3 an hour. Cool. That's how you can make the task scalable. That's how you can move on. And that's how you can keep doing things that are going to benefit and scale your agency. And this relates to the last question, which I have an example here, is really good to ask yourself. Is the cost of my time worth it for this task? All the hours that I'm putting in, say you're sending DMs 6, 7 hours a day, thousands of DMs, and you're sat there on your phone just tapping 2 buttons, copy, paste, hi name, sending it over. Can I just give this to someone, get a VA on my account for $3 an hour, save me the time, and get 80 to 90% of the same results by outsourcing this task and saving all my time? If the answer is yes, then you know what to do. So cool. What's an example of these tasks that I think would really increase your income and it's definitely worth you focusing on and maybe ignoring some of the less profitable tasks? Number one, the chatting on OnlyFans accounts is the bread and butter of the business. It's where you're going to make the most money. If you don't have good chatting, if you don't have any chatting, you're not really going to make any money in OnlyFans. So knowing how to chat yourself, teaching yourself how to chat, getting really, really good, and then training other chatters and eventually training chat managers, all this stuff, that is a great use of your time. But instead, you could outsource this to a chatting agency. That's another option. But if you want to make the most profit and you want to be the most competent person in this business, it is good to learn how to chat and then train your own chatters, have your own chatting team, and that gives you the opportunity to make higher profit margins and also offer chatting services to other agencies. So it's a great way to make more money and improve your overall service delivery. And once you're training these chatters, you won't have to spend 8 hours a day chatting on accounts, and you're still going to make great money, 24-hour chatting, without any of your effort going into the actual task. So that's the first one, training chatters, signing more clients. Obviously, this is always good. If you have the capacity to do so, you should always be trying to sign more clients, sign better clients, rotate out the bad ones. That probably sounds bad to say, but you want to be working on clients that are going to have the biggest chance to make, say, $50,000, $100,000 a month. If you have one client making $100,000 a month, it's better than having 5, 6 shit clients that are making $5,000 a month, for example. So you always want to be outreaching, you always want to be trying to get inbound leads by creating YouTube videos like this, stuff like that. You always want to be putting time into signing more clients versus spending your time, say, putting 12 hours into doing Reddit marketing for a client that doesn't get the best results, doesn't have a lot of potential, they don't make the content. There's not much point in putting all this time into them. You should just be trying to find a new client so you can have better results in the long run. If you're an OF creator, then creating OnlyFans content is also going to be a high ROI task, especially if you're creating customs, you're creating new sequences, you have a bunch of big spends on the account. If you're not creating this content, on one of our pages, there's a huge spend. He spent over $20,000 in the past 6 months, and he'll buy literally anything you send him. So if this creator's oh, I can't be bothered to make a new set of content, every time she leaves a day without making a new set of content when the guy's asking for it, That's $1,000 to $2,000 lost. So it's clearly a high ROI task. It's worth it for her to spend another half an hour, make the content, send it to him, get the $1,000, $2,000. And then lastly, even if you're an agency owner, like creating viral content, creating content that's going to bring you inbound leads, or if you're an OF creator, creating content that's going to go viral and bring you a bunch of new subscribers, creating viral content's always going to be beneficial. It's always going to increase your revenue, increase your profit. So these are the four sort of things. If you just focus on these and get as good as these four things as possible, the rest of the work isn't really as impactful as having effective strategies for all of these four tasks. So the questions you should be asking yourself to identify the 80% that you shouldn't really be doing or shouldn't be spending a lot of time on, or outsourcing, which brings me to the first point. You should ask yourself, okay, this task, could a robot do this task? Can I outsource this task to someone lower skilled? Can I save my time on this task and it still be profitable? If the answer is yes, can I outsource this task? It's worth finding someone that can do this task, outsourcing it to them, training them up, and then paying them a set wage for this task, keep getting the benefit and save all your time. And as you're doing these tasks, you kind of just ask yourself, like, what am I giving up here? Am I spending 8 hours doing Reddit, but I'm sacrificing my outreach? I'm not going to get any more clients. I'm not going to be able to scale my agency. I'm only going to be able to bring in, say, an extra 10 subscribers a day, which is around like $500 a day, if that, maybe the worst. So anytime you're doing a task and you feel like the opportunity cost that you're giving up isn't worth it, it's time to outsource that task or stop it altogether and just start focusing on something more important. And a really obvious one, is this task profitable? Some people that do things and they don't even calculate, okay, I'm spending this much time and I'm spending this much money on this task. Maybe if the numbers match up, you might think, okay, this task is profitable. So you say, okay, it only cost me $10 to do this marketing. It only cost me $10 for this promotion, but I had to spend half an hour, I had to spend 2 hours each day creating the content. So how much is your time worth? Is your time worth $10 an hour? Is your time worth $50, $100, $1,000 an hour? How do you value your time? Because your time's running out. You don't have unlimited time. We all know this. So you have to think of a task being profitable in a way of, one, is it profitable like just money-wise? And two, is it profitable for my time or my team's time? And lastly, you can also ask yourself, it's a really good one, what would happen if I stopped doing this task? Would the business disappear overnight? Would my revenue cut in half? What would possibly happen? What would I miss out on if I stopped doing this task? And if nothing would really happen, you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it profitable? Can I outsource it? What is the opportunity of this task? What could it lead to? And after you've answered all this, you can then decide, okay, am I going to keep doing this task or am I going to outsource? I'm going to stop it altogether and start focusing on something more important. So now you know how to identify the current tasks that are wasting your time, that aren't really going to improve your life or improve your business. These are some of the tasks that I think you shouldn't really be doing at all. Shouldn't really focus on them. There's not really any benefit to doing this. Number one, posting low quality content. If you're spending a bunch of time making the content, but you're not putting the effort in to make sure it's high quality, when you go away, do all the posting, say you do a week of posting low quality content. Imagine if you just posted one really high quality video versus 7 low quality videos that all got like 10, 15, even like 500 views versus one video that popped off and got 1 million views. It's way more worth just creating high quality content that does have the potential to perform really, really well versus spamming a bunch of low quality content, taking all the time to make all this low quality content. It's not really any point. It's not really going to make you a lot of money, give you a big benefit, and you should just focus on high quality content instead. It's pretty simple. Another one that a lot of agencies mess up on, we've messed up on this in the past, is working with low quality clients because you're so desperate to make money. You're like, okay, I need this client, I need this client, it's an extra $3,000 a month, it's definitely worth it. And say you're spending like 40 hours a week trying to improve this client, you're spending a bunch of money on VAs, on chatters, and this client's only making $3,000 a month and they're not really responding to the advice you give, they're not creating the content you need. If this is the case, you should just reallocate your time to outreach, get a better client, and start scaling them instead. It's just a big waste of time focusing on clients with low potential. And with the marketing side of things, that you can get caught up with replying to all the IG DMs, begging the guys to come through, subscribe on the OF. But replying to these DMs, the guys are probably not going to come to the OF, they would have already. And they just want to waste your time and they want stuff for free. So with the IG DMs, you can outsource this to an AI chatbot that will just try and convert the leads. Otherwise, I would just ignore it and focus on driving more people straight to the OF link where you can chat to them on there and actually make a bunch of sales. And if you're on the account and the subscribers hit on there aren't spending, and you're sat there on the chat like, oh, please babe, please give me the money, blah, 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 begging them to give the money. There's not really any point in doing this. The best you're going to get out of these guys, $5, $10, $15. There's not any point in focusing on the low spenders. If you do want to focus on the low spenders, the best way to get them to spend is not actually by begging them to buy. The best way is to build rapport with them, make them fall in love with the creator, And once they're at that stage, you can start selling content to them because they're emotionally invested in your client. So the key thing I want you to take away from this is just prioritize the 20% of tasks that are going to get you the 80% of results. So if you want to ask me anything else about OnlyFans management, how to get started, anything like that, just give me a message in the free Discord, free Telegram, or on my Instagram that's in the link in my description.